Hello and welcome to Rate That Character, the show where a member of the Source Gaming team gives their opinion on a character's chances at being playable in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo Switch. We'll lay out the pros and cons for each character and give a final score out of 100. Please do remember that these are our individual opinions and do not reflect Sakurai, Nintendo, or even the thoughts of Source Gaming as a whole. With that out of the way, my name is NantenJex, and let's see who today's character is. Although each Earthbound game is separated and feels like its own entity, they actually share a common villain. Between Earthbound and Mother 3, this was Porky, but between the first two Earthbound titles, this character is the universal cosmic destroyer Giygas, or Gigu depending on which translation you're using. In the 1900s, two Earthlings called Maria and George were abducted and made to raise the newly born Giygas, and despite their situation they do so with much love. However, George learnt the alien secret of PSI and fled home to Earth. In order to make sure that Earth wouldn't pose a threat, Giygas was tasked with taking it over. However, his emotions get the better of him and he fails. He later returns, having stripped himself of all humanity in order to succeed and become the nightmare-inducing monster seen in Earthbound. However, could Giygas bring this terror to Smash? Well, the first thing Giygas has in his favour is his importance to the series. Giygas is the main villain of the first two titles, which are the only two released worldwide, and so has more prominence to a worldwide audience than the other series villain, Porky Minch. The Earthbound series is also lacking a villain representative right now, with the closest thing being the Porky boss fight in Brawl. In addition to this, the first Earthbound game, Earthbound Beginnings, is the only one in the series lacking a playable representative. Ninten could work, but he is visually very similar to Ness, and so would need a redesign, whereas Giygas' form from Earthbound Beginnings could work. However, Sakurai likes to properly represent characters in Smash, and it would be near impossible to do this for Giygas. In Earthbound, he literally has no form, and in both games his attacks are so inexplicable that no one knows what they look like, if they even have a form to begin with. How do you represent this in Smash? Giygas is also meant to be all-powerful, and both times he is defeated it is not through regular attacks, but by singing and a prayer. This obviously would not work for Smash either. To add to this point, in Earthbound Beginnings, Giygas remains inside a vat of liquid for the whole fight. It is not known if he can even leave his pod, and he would have to in order to fight in Smash. Lastly, his general appearance is rather reminiscent of Mewtwo, which is not a surprise as both characters were worked on by a similar team. This could mean that Giygas would work as a Mewtwo clone, but it also raises the point that he is not visually unique, which Sakurai looks for in all of his non-clones. Another con, this time not related to his looks, revolves around Earthbound as a series. The creator, Shigesato Itoi, has stated he has no plans for a fourth game, effectively making the series over. This means there is little incentive on Sakurai's part to add a newcomer from this franchise, as it has no foreseeable future and that time can be spent on more relevant characters. Giygas has major significance to the Earthbound series, and would be different from its two current reps, Ness and Lucas. However, to properly represent Giygas is a nightmare, as he would come off as way too powerful. It can be seen as a stretch, but being added as a clone of Mewtwo is not out of the question. However, this would feel more like he was added for the sake of it, and not a lucky turn of events like it is with most clones. So ultimately, this doesn't give Giygas a very good chance to Smash. Before I go today, I just want to give a special thank you to all of our Patreons out there, in particular our super patron, the Duke of Dorks. You'll find a link to his channel down in the description below. Thank you for watching today's Rate That Character. If you liked this video, then give us a like and share with your friends. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on today's character, and give us a suggestion for a future character you would like us to rate. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date, and always remember to return to the source.